Y'all know what day it is. It's my favorite day of the week. It's pod day. It's more than the title. I'm your host as usual, Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. My bro might be having technical difficulties. I don't know. We here, but we on episode 150, y'all.
Oh, you ready? No, hold on. Where we going over here, man?
Come on, man. Can we get the horns, man?
Let's get the horns.
Episode 150, man. It's an honor to be here with y'all. It's an honor to be doing what we love to do. I'm your host, Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer, Outside the Box Digital. And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo. What is good, baby?
Gotta make sure the lips is right. I'm ready to pod.
Look at the L. Look at the L. Yo, come on, B. You gotta, I love it. He acting different. 150. 150.
You know what it is, man. Like we said off the screen, man, like we just said to Ryan, man, we always start the show, Ryan, just so you know, grateful and thankful, G&T, right? Grateful to wake up another day and do what we love to do, right? Like I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that you love to do, your career, you know what I'm saying, your music, you get to wake up and do it another day. We're grateful for that. And we're thankful for everybody that has ever been in our life that has supported us, whether financially, educationally, you know what I'm saying, just giving us words of encouragement, man, you know, comments and things of that nature. G&T, baby, grateful and thankful every day. That's how we start the show. That's a fact. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, G&T, baby. Because listen, you know, health is the new wealth, for real, Ryan.
Yeah,
health is the new wealth, man. Yeah, health is the new wealth. We're seeing it way too often. Too many of our brothers and sisters and family members are not living to what we consider to be an old, ripe age nowadays, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're losing too many too early. So we got to take care of ourselves, man. We got to take care of ourselves mentally and physically. We can't, especially as Black men, we can't forget this, the mental part. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Podding early. We didn't even do the intro. He ready to pod, Ryan. I love it.
I got the dindu. I got the dindu
going. I love it. So before we begin, let's head off with house clean the items. Shout out to our distribution partners, the Live Podcast Network, the first Black-owned, woman-owned podcast network in the world, and the biggest Black-owned podcast network in the world, y'all. So if y'all want more content from content creators like More Than a Title, make sure you download the QR code and make sure y'all support your content creators, because half of your subscription goes back to your favorite content creators, y'all. No one doing it up like them. It's a proud time to be alive, you dig?
Yeah, it is. There it is.
We here. We rocking with that. Let's get his brother the intro he deserves.
Let's start the show.
They're rocking and popping. First of all, this brother is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, producer, and an actor who's left a credible mark on both the music and film industries. 1/3 of the Grammy-nominated group City High, this brother helped co-write and produce 2 unforgettable hits with What Would You Do and Caramel, defining early 2000 R&B. But it also had the beloved role as Wesley Glen Ahmal James from Sister Act 2, Back in Habit, a role that catapulted him in the spotlight at a young age. And in 2003, this brother collaborated with hitmaker Pooh Bear on Usher's Confessions album and penned 3 iconic joints, Called Up, Superstar, and Follow Me. These songs helped shape one of the biggest albums of the decade, and his brother's influence helped shape a generation of superstars, including Bieber, Chris Brown, and Mary J. Blige, with over 60 million albums sold and 400 million streams to his name. Let's introduce this brother, Mr. Ryan Toby, to the More Than the Title.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A lot of goddamn streams. Woo!
Yeah. I think it's probably more than that. We got
the credit.
That's the AI version.
Yeah, I think we might need to update that. I think we might need to update that.
Yeah, did you hear what he just said to you, Jarrett? He said you cut his credit short.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
I can't do that to my boy.
Put some respect on his name, man.
Just a little bit, just a little more respect.
Just a little more sauce.
Yo, welcome to the show.
So wait. Perfect. Yo, Ryan, just to show you, this is episode 150, right? We have never, you are the first to ever say, that ain't enough. I did some more shit. Out of 150 episodes. Real shit. We never lie to you, bro. Out of 150 episodes, 99.99% of our guests now, because you are the 0.1%, have said, damn, you know, you didn't have to give me that kind of intro. I'm not used to hearing my accolades, but you are the first to be like, now put some more hot sauce on my shit.
That's It's good. I like it spicy. What can I say?
I like it spicy, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
For sure. Nah, I'm definitely humbled and very appreciative, man. Thank you for having me on the platform, bro. It means a lot.
You on mute, Cuzzo? Cuzzo, you on mute?
Oh, I've flown too. I was like, yo, first of all, we're honored, bro. And for those first-time listeners, More Than the Title is a show, bro, just to dedicate people like you, man, that are putting on, that been through the grind, that've seen the ins and outs, that they're providing generational wealth for their family. Those are the stories we want to give back to the culture. So we're honored, bro, to share our journey with you, 150. And like I told you off screen, off camera, I'm like, nigga, I grew up on you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Sister Act, cool, man. I was in Catholic school, bro. You know what I mean? I was trying to do the thing. I was trying to do that in the school, God.
That's hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? Like this. I'm bringing that shit to the club. Yo, bro, that's a perfect segue, bro. Tell us about the early days, bro, leading up to Sister Act. What was life like before that?
Oh man, life was cool, man. I'm from a small town in South Jersey, exit 5 off the turnpike, way down there by Camden, by Philly, by Trenton, Cherry Hill, all that. I'm from a town called Willingboro, New Jersey. Cool little black suburb, about 20 minutes outside of Philly, about an hour and a half south of New York. So growing up in Willingboro was really, really cool in the 80s and the 90s because it was like a town where, you know, black families from the city could go and get a house, you know what I mean? For, affordable house and, you know, with a backyard and, you know what I mean? Have a better life and opportunity for your kids. So a lot of black families from the city, a lot of black families like mine from the projects, whatever, you know, was able to come down to Willingboro. And it started off as a little white suburb, but it got black real quick once the word got out. You know what I mean? So it was dope. That influence of New York, a lot of New Yorkers coming down. Early hip hop in the 80s, big heavy influence on my life. And then also people coming from Philly, you know what I mean? So the Philly soul sound, everything that was going on in Philly at the time, the style, the fashion, the music, etc. You know, Philly's right over the bridge. So I grew up on, you know, cheesesteaks and Eagles and 76ers, you know what I mean? So it's a vibe. And it was really dope, man. It was the type of city where, you know, kids like me we could harness our musical skills for whatever reason. It was cool. Like it's not like the type of town you get beat up for carrying a saxophone to school or something like that. You feel what I mean? It was like that type of shit was encouraged, you know, like when I was young, it was certain cats that had like musical equipment, like in their crib, like in the garage. Mom let them turn the garage into like a little studio. Like, so it was a hub for cultivating musical talent, man. I can run off a list of who's that came out of my city that'll blow your mind, like big names, cats that's doing big things right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From producers to artists to, athletes. Olympic gold track runner Carl Lewis went to my high school. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know what was in the water or what it was, having access to the city. You got the vibe of the city because, you know, city kids make the coolest shit, right? So you get the access to the city, but then living in this little suburb outside of the city, you ain't have to duck no gunshots. So it was like if you was able to cultivate a lot of your talent. So for me, it was fly, man. It was fly growing up in South Jersey, bro. You know, growing up in church and stuff like that. Mom making me sing the solos in church and stuff like that. Shit, our high school, you would have thought was a performing arts high school, just the amount of talent and the high level of talent that was in there. I mean, everybody from the singers, even to the musicians. I went to school with Ty Tribbett. He just won a Grammy last year, Grammy award winning, you know, gospel artist. He was like playing in the band for the school choir. Adam Blackstone, who is the musical director for the Super Bowl. He produced the Super Bowl show with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent and Snoop and Eminem. Adam did all the music. Adam is Jay-Z's musical director. He's the MD for Jay-Z, MD for Justin Timberlake, MD for, you see what I'm saying?
They're all in the same choir with you.
They the band. They just the band. like the kids that was playing the music have gone off to become world recognized, world renowned musicians. Then the artists, nigga, Wanye Morris from Boys II Men graduated from my high school. You see what I'm saying? City High came out of my high school. The producer, Mike Zombie on the track, started from the bottom. Now we here. That's like he grew up next door to my best friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
crazy.
Niggas was popping, like coming out of our city getting record deals. It was like lit. It's like a little mini Atlanta that just has never been talked about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a blessing growing up in my town. You know what I mean?
Wait, before you go too much further, Ryan, we have to address something that is very important that you went past like it was nothing, but we have to address it. You see, the difference is cultivation of talent, providing a safe space and an opportunity for your children to explore their talents and what they want to do and not feel ashamed that I want to be a saxophone player or pianist, right? This is the difference between growing up in an urban or urban versus a suburban area where you don't have all of the distractions that could have taken all of your energy and put it towards something else.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of black teachers at the school that cared because they from the culture. They lived in the city that we went to school in. You know what I mean? So it's not like you had a bunch of teachers from a bunch of other places that didn't care. We had like a crazy music program. You know, the jazz band in our high school was a traveling band. Like niggas is going to other states, winning competitions and winning, like, you know what I mean? Even our football program was like top notch. You understand what I mean? Cats was going to the league from my high school. Like, it really was a black utopia that, in looking back, I'm like, man, like we grew up in like a real, I mean, this hood is fucked now.
Y'all wasn't expecting that. Shit. Real, he kept it real.
Yeah, it steadily went kind of like on the decline. It just as far as like gang activity, drug activity, now there's shootings, people getting murked out, and it's sad. But when I was young in the 80s and the 90s, from 70s, 80s, and 90s, and like early 2000s, those was like 40 years of just prosperity. But, you know, lack of, I guess, care and community, it started to die and then it starts to become more dilapidated. Misappropriations of funds within the, you know, local government and, you know, mayors stealing money. And, you know, then before you know it, music programs get cut, summer programs get cut. Like, you know what I mean? All these different programs start to get cut, and now kids is hanging out in the street. So
message.
That's real.
Access to the things, exactly. Then it goes the other way. So, but I mean, you know, I still believe in my city, and there's still a lot of great things about it. And you know, I plan to do some work with the city as well to see what I could do and how I can help implement the programs to kind of get it back to the glory that it once had when I was growing up, man. It was really, really dope, man. So yeah, that was my life, man. And it was fun, and it was real. It was real niggas, because niggas was moving there from the city. So, and everybody cousins still lived in the hood. So it was like the hood was right there. It was it wasn't far. Like this, I ain't talking about we so far out in the boonies somewhere that you can't find. Nah, nigga, it was like the hood is right there. You go see your cousins every weekend.
So I gotta ask you a question too, bro. Like, yo, so what made you get, was you mom, you had mom and pops both for your life, and what made you, when did you know that you could sing, bro? You was a motherfucker in the shower just like, oh shit.
Oh man, I've been rapping. I was singing and rapping and writing little songs and break dancing and all that since I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, man. Me and my homeboy, rest in peace, my childhood, one of my childhood best friends, Mike Brown. I remember 83, 84, like Run DMC was out, and we was like 6, 7, I guess, 8 years old. I'm talking like 2nd, 3rd grade, like, yo, we need to be the first, we need to rap like them, but we be like kids. Like, we was trying to put together a crisscross type of group in like 83 on our own. Like, we, you know what I mean? And one of my brothers, he was like, yo, man, y'all can rap. Like we used to rap. We had to learn how to rap to keep like the bigger kids from, beating us up and shit. We would rap and freestyle. Yo, shorty, spit that shit you said yesterday about the da-da-da-da. And we would, yeah, look at your hat. Get that. Like that was how we, you know what I'm saying? Like the older kids that was like gang banging and a little bit of that nonsense, they used to make us rap. So we was doing that since young, bro. And like my brother was like, yo, man, y'all dope, man. He's like, yo, man, I'll be going to New York all the time. He was like, y'all should give me like a tape. Y'all ain't got no tape. And we made a demo tape, like with the little press with the drum where you had to hold down the record and the play and put the tape in like this, the flat top fucking recorder. Yeah. And niggas was spitting bars and made a demo, not even knowing that's what a demo was. We just like, all right, we're gonna make a tape and give it to my brother. He gonna go to New York and we gonna be like Run DMC, but young, like we had the plan, bro. I don't know what was in the water, but we was on it. Like it was not a game. And this is in the 80s, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just knew I had, just like I said, the environment, man. Just the environment. And, with MTV being a new, media source, a new medium for music. That was brand new. We watching Michael Jackson videos and Prince and Michael Jackson, and hip hop was new. This was all new shit. So LL and Run DMC and like, we was like, what the fuck? Crush Groove and Beat Street and Breaking, nigga. We was on it. That era was like, had us on it. We want to do that. Whatever that is, that's what we want to do. So it was on. When you're around from a very young age.
When you're around excellence, it makes you want to be excellent, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I had the same vibe in my hood, bro. Like I ain't gonna hold you. The biggest thing that happened in my hood was Sporty Thieves filmed right in front of my mama crib. Remember the No Pigeons video?
Yeah.
That was right in front of my mama's building. I remember they had they were the biggest stars ever to me. I'm like, they had the whole neighborhood. So I know there's Jay-Z, there's Biggie and all that, but these brothers right here come from right up the block, was playing ball, and I could see and touch them. Same thing with my brother High came from N1. I'm going to high school. He's got a video game. And I'm like, yo, that's like, he used to babysit me. That's my brother. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, buddy.
Be like, I want to be that guy when they come back and be like, yo, I knew Jarrett. You know what I mean?
Shout out to y'all for living such a spiritually bountiful youth. Because that in 84, 85, I'm telling you right now, I wasn't looking at rap. I wasn't trying to be no
Jerry curl, Ryan. That shit was a Jerry curl like you.
I'm telling you right now, I was Riley from Boondock, walking around with braids like, nigga, that's gay.
Yeah, that's
like,
gay.
Nigga, that's gay.
He said I was Riley.
I was full-blooded Riley from Boondocks.
It's crazy you say that because you look at the dynamic of the two brothers in Boondocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Riley, that ideology was very much prevalent. You got those kind of kids.
Yeah.
Then there was a whole, especially in the early 80s, because you got to figure there was a lot of conscious rap out in the early 80s and the 90s as well. That was big. Yeah. So you had your little Rileys, your little Hood. These were my friends. Like, you know what I mean? Little badass little niggas running around with the nappy braids. Like, of course, we hung out. You know what I mean? But then there was, it was also cool too if you was on your like knowledge, your KRS-One and your 5%er. I had those friends too. Everybody named Prince, Nassim, Wild God, Allah. Like these like niggas dropping the math, the jewels of the day, and you know what I mean? So there was that too. And I guess the city I grew up in had a nice little balance of both. You could be that kid, you could be Riley, or you could be the, you know what I mean? You could be the other one. And so that was what was really cool about the time. It wasn't just all one-sided. You feel what I'm saying?
Nah, facts.
Yeah,
you know, cool, like I said, we talk about this all the time. You know, Ryan. We have to put onus on the adults.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a child, you look at life through a child's eyes, and you interpret life through a child's mentality, where you only understand what you see and what your surroundings are. And you just pretty much described the perfect example of learned behavior, right? You're around a certain thing. You're around, you know, arts and craft and STEM programs and all these things that are like inspiring you to be the best that you can, so you become that. Versus, you know, like I said, where I grew up at 4 or 5, like we was already getting to it. You understand what I'm saying? At 4 or 5, I already had a name. At 5, they already was like, this little motherfucker is ill. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, listen,
that's a fact, right?
No, I'm telling you, Ryan, like people don't understand at what age we started to like really, but you got to understand again, the difference is the environment that I'm from he's from Parkchester, I'm from Forest Project. So I'm from the same project as Fat Joe, right? He's from 1000, I'm from 730, right? I'm from the building right behind him. You know, a lot of big names came out of Forest, you know, hip hop originated. So I had all of these people used to come to my house because they all knew my grandmother. They used to call my grandmother Ma.
Yeah.
You understand? So we talking like, you know, the Melly Mel's and the Curtis Blow, everybody that was in that era, you understand, Keith Cowboy, and they all knew my family and they all used to be in my house. And I'm just looking at them like, y'all niggas is corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all niggas is dressing. You remember how they was dressing back? Y'all niggas is dressing funny and all that.
Hated it.
I'm thugging.
But you know what's really wild? Hip hop 50 years later, and niggas dressing like Melly Mel them did back in the day. Niggas was like, right? Niggas got on tight leather, niggas got on feathers. Everything is fashionable now. All that Melly Mel shit is lit right now, nigga. All that high fashion, they was on that back then, nigga. Now niggas is dressing like that. Knock it off.
The boy was a genius.
It just, you know, when we look at society, right? And I'm glad you said like your moms had you singing in church and stuff like that. When we look at society, when you look at the parents or parent, right, that decided to really invest in their child and pour into their child and pour into their talents from a very young age, you realize that the percentage of them people going on to do really great things is so much higher, right? If you look at the Whitney Houstons of the world and all of the singers that grew up in the church, was singing in the church, learn the confidence, learn how to perform in front of crowds, right?
That's
and then you wonder what
chops.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah.
You understand? You could listen, you know, Black church, one of the worst crowds to perform. They're gonna let you know if you're good or you're bad. You know,
that's your proving ground. That's your proving ground. Like that's the proving ground. I remember, bro. Like you gotta understand. This why I think when people talk about why you think R&B is dead or why R&B is suffering? Because niggas ain't being groomed in the church. R&B was always rhythm and blues, which came from soul music. Soul music came from gospel music. Gospel music came from slave music. It was always a spiritual connection. So you figure all the they was coming straight out the church, and all the biggest R&B songs was gospel songs with secular lyrics. I got a woman, way over time. That's gospel music.
Yeah.
You know it made me want to shout. Get your hands up and shout. Come on now.
That's a fact.
That was all the early R&B was church music with secular lyrics because that was the proving ground. That's where R&B, that's where you came from. It was a prerequisite. So even when I was trying to get a deal early on, 14, 15, like that was the first question that A&R asked you. So you grew up you singing in church? Like you had to. I don't care. Jodeci, Boys the Men, don't matter. Mary J, but everybody came out the church, bro. Like that's how you got proven. But nowadays, you know, you don't really have that. You ain't got no big mama like, you know, waking you up with the belt. Like, gotta go to church. And you know what I'm saying? It ain't.
Nah, that's a fact. Nah, you ain't lying about that, bro.
Only time I went to church, Ryan, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I used to get put on punishment for semesters. Like you on punishment from September to December. Like, yo, I used to get put up. Yo, they didn't know what to do with me. I used to get put on punishment for so long that the only way I could really like get off of punishment and go outside sometimes was to go to church, right? I'm keeping it all the way 100. So the only time I was in church, and I learned to use church as the get out of fucking punishment free card, right? So I'm in church on Sunday. Then I'm like, yo, man, you know they got Bible study on a Wednesday. I got to go Wednesday too, and then Friday it's quiet. But you know, I want to be an usher, but I just put me in the white gloves and the white walk down the aisle, right? I'm just saying, like,
work the system, right?
Yeah, man. But look at like
this nigga got 3 jobs in jail. That nigga works in the cafeteria. That nigga wash clothes. That nigga work in the library. That nigga ain't never in the cell. That nigga got 4 jobs. That nigga like I know how to
I'm doing
Nothing to sell.
everything. Fuck.
How many jobs you got?
That's a fact. And you know what's crazy, right? You know, as kids, right? You always think that you smarter than your
That nigga
fucking
worked in the
parents.
mail room. He delivered the mail. That nigga did everything.
Whatever I had to do, right?
Yo,
Look,
yo, Dot, freaky
Dot,
ass nigga.
see,
Freaky ass nigga, you a 69
69
guy.
That's your Dot.
Nigga, we talking about church.
Right? Perverting the church, Dot. So I'm just saying,
He
Ryan,
ain't
right?
lying,
Look,
though. He ain't lying.
look.
It was real, but not now, no, not now.
You know, we always think that we're smarter than
Tranquilo,
our
papi,
parents.
tranquilo. We talk about that later.
We always think that we smarter than our parents as children, right? It's funny, like you almost don't understand the concept of true intelligence, right? So it was no way that you couldn't tell me that I was outsmarting my mother by going to church when she know I'm not paying attention to none of this shit in church. I'm falling asleep half the time. You know that kid that fall asleep and you got to keep nudging and shit like that. I was falling asleep. I was kicking the pew and all that shit. Like, but in her mind, I'm guessing, right? Surmising, at least I'm in a positive place. And by me going so frequently, hopefully, eventually, I would be around enough people, right? Doing something different that it would influence me to start changing and becoming more spiritual and things of that nature, right? So, you know, two different environments of us using the same system completely differently.
He made the system work. He took it to the top. He brought him the whoopee, nigga. You over there and brought you a whooping. It brought him the whoopee.
Listen, I should have been a sister act. I should have been
that was a good one, nigga.
You know, put me in sister act. That would have been hilarious.
I see what you did there.
This is 150. We got to bring the big guns out. We trying to pause.
He's quick on the trigger.
But shit, matter of fact, that's a perfect segue, bro. Like, what was the audition process like? How did you even learn about the movie? Like, what happened with that?
So I guess I could say my parents, it's not like they were, I didn't grow up like with the manager, mom, or I didn't grow up with any professional experience. I was just a regular kid. I was explaining the environment that I grew up in, but it's not like my parents were supportive or pushing my life to go down a music career. It just was that. Actually, they didn't want to hear none of that rap shit in their house. We wasn't really allowed to be watching MTV in their house. You know what I mean? They ain't want to hear none of that hip hoppy beat. What is that? They wasn't with that. I better not catch you outside breakdancing. You will break your neck. You know, we was sneaking to do that. You know what I mean? But they weren't, when they saw that I had musical talent and stuff like that, it's not like they were shutting it down. You know what I mean? So it was kind of weird, but it's not like they were like pushing me to do it. So what happened was just growing up, whatever, singing, rapping, this, that, and the third. And then all of that kind of went to, kind of fell to the side because I called myself, then I got like 13, 14. I start kind of like wanting to try to run the streets a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? So there was that element that was there. And then I called myself running with the boys and doing things. Then I started getting in trouble. Then I started getting arrested for little bullshit, little this and that, little whatever. Nothing crazy, but it was definitely going down that path. You understand what I mean? So it was the beginnings of me trying my little street life that didn't last very long because I was like, this ain't for me. I was getting kicked out of schools, just knucklehead shit. You feel me? Yeah. And so that at that point, my parents had me on lockdown. Like you, I'm like locked down, like for the semester. Like you ain't walking to school with your friends. You ain't talking to your friend. All them little niggas is hoodlum. I don't want to see you with none of them. So at that time, one of my little homies, he was like, yo, man, he was like, you can sing. You should be singing. He knew I could sing, but I wasn't really focused on that at the time. And so he was like, man, you should meet my dad. His dad was named Marvin. He's from Harlem, from a really pretty big, heavy family in Harlem, too. And he was just like, yo, I got people in New York, this, that, da. So he was like, yo, my dad can help you get a record deal or whatever. I wasn't even thinking about no music at that time. And so I went and sang for his pop at the barbershop. And his dad was like, yo, with a voice like that, man, you can make some money. You can make $1 million. Like, man, you got something. I was like, yeah, but right now I've been getting in trouble. Like, I done got kicked out of this school, that school. this and that. So he talked to me about like changing my life, and he was like, let me come talk to your parents, because I was like, right now I'm on lockdown, I can't do nothing. So he came by the crib, talked to my mom and dad, just like, you know, Mr. and Miss Toby, let me work with him, you know, and my parents was, you know, like, all right, basically anything to keep him from getting in trouble, because I had got to the point where the judge told my mom, if I see him one more time in my courtroom, I'm sending him away. Like they was about to, you know. So
now you sound like me. Now
you
sound like me.
So my mom was like, we ain't paying for no more lawyers. We ain't paying for, like, you know what I mean? If you want to ruin your life, that these people want to send you away, we're gonna let them. So I was only allowed to go to school, come home, do my little chores, and go to Marvin's house. And I would be at Marvin's rehearsing. He was putting me through boot camp, rehearsing. And then he started taking me to studio sessions and stuff in Philly, started taking me to New York, working with different producers and all of that. And taking me up to record labels. And he was, you know, he put me in different talent shows and all of that. And I started like winning the talent shows. I was performing at the Apollo, and it started seeming like this was a real thing. During that time, one of the A&Rs that we had met with was a guy named Kenny Ortiz, who worked at RCA Records. So Kenny, he was like, yo, I like you, but you still rough. We got to get you more polished. You ain't even got no professional demo, right? So he's like, yo, I'm going to give you a little budget. Gave us $2,500. Like, yo, go to the studio, make a real professional demo. You know what I mean? Not no round the way shit, not no, like a real studio and a real demo. And he was like, because I want to work with you, but right now I got this little group. He had these 3 little girls called SWV. You feel me? He was like, yeah, I'm working with my girls right now. He had these young producers from Virginia called the Neptunes. He's like, I got these little young producers. I'm working with them right now. And so he was like, but I want to do something with you, but I'm building these up right now. So he sends me to the studio in Paterson, New Jersey, with this production team who had this young writer, this dude. So the young writer, little black dude, come in the studio, is like, yeah, what's up, shorty? My name Joe. the singer Joe.
The Joe?
Like, the Joe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, like, all of these people I was meeting, like, so boom, those 3 little girls that were sitting in the office that day I went to Kenny's office, a year later, boom, SWV. I get so weak in the knee. I was like, yo, them the 3. Then the couple producers from Virginia, next thing you know, they SSWW to the VV. I'm like, whoa, like the nigga Joe. Oh, that's the writer dude that wrote a year later, this nigga's Joe. You feel me? So it was like things was popping off like that at that time, right? And so it was Kenny and my manager and another lady named Bobby Humphrey we was working with. Kenny, they found out about the auditions. I don't know how they found out about the audition for Sister Act, but they was like, yo, man, you should go try out for this movie. And it was really just to get a role. They was looking for kids to be in the choir, just like a background dancer, basically. They just looking for kids that could sing and dance to be in this movie with Whoopi Goldberg. And I was so young. I was like, man, I don't want to be in no movie. Like, I wanted a record deal. I was trying to be Tevin Campbell. I wanted to, you know what I mean, be the R&B nigga, singing in the rain, in the video, getting out the car, slow motion. I wanted to... I wanted to be in the desert with a leather vest on and Tim's for some reason.
What the is wrong with this guy? Am I kidding me or what?
And the leather, that is wild.
The desert with the leather jacket is crazy.
Shit, that was sad.
It's the 90s. You feel me? It's the 90s. Put me in the desert with a leather fucking and Carhartt pants. I need some Carhartt pants, Tim's, and a leather vest. And put me in the desert. And let me niggas, you kidding me?
Yeah, he want the Carl Kanai vest with the big gold buckle, the big gold square on it.
Talk to me.
With no sleeve.
In the rain. It's soaking wet with the OD thick Carl Kanai. Them t-shirts was thick. You ready? Thick. You hear me? Thick ass t-shirt, wet, in the rain. Why is it raining? It's a lot of rain too. Turn the sprinklers down.
Mad rain is
Jesus.
nuts.
Mad rain, yo. We need more rain. Can we turn up the rain, please? All right, roll it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
nigga, I'm screaming.
Oh yeah, baby. Come on, man. Don't get me started. You
Oh,
taking me back to my
shit.
childhood right now, nigga. It was real. It was real. So I was like, I was green. I didn't know, and I was like, I don't want to be in this movie. They like, nah, man, it'll be good. It could be a good stepping stone for you. You go do the audition. I had never been to an audition before in my life. That was the first thing I ever auditioned for. I didn't have aspirations to be an actor or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So but I went and I auditioned, and at the time, I mean, I was seeing all the who's who kids of that time. Tevin Campbell was walking out that audition. Tony Thompson from High Five was walking out that audition. Tatiana Ali from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was walking out. So I was like, oh man, like I ain't who am I? I'm just a little big head nigga, you know what I'm saying, from South Jersey like that, And God blessed me with the part, bro. I landed the gig and they actually created the role for me like at the auditions, because I had like 7 callbacks, bro. It was crazy. They kept calling me back, one more audition, one more audition, one more. And every time they would like throw me a little more line, try and say this, try this, da da da. And like the producers, the directors were there. They would huddle up, talk. Da, da, da. Okay. Hey Ryan, do this for me. Walk over here and say this, and da, da. So they like created that role of Wesley James like in the audition. That wasn't even like a role. I was just supposed to be one of the background singers. And I ended up, with one of the biggest parts of the movie, singing on Happy Day and all of that. So,
Message.
That's fire.
yeah.
That's almost similar. That's almost similar to the Cat Williams story when he was saying about when he auditioned. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he caused all the controversy when Ice Cube and them was like da-da-da, and he was like, listen, my role was supposed to be like this small. It was like a one-liner, da-da-da, but every time I went in there, I improvised, and they kept creating, and and then, Money Mike, he became, the pimp named Slickback. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything started developing, and he, ended up getting, like you said, but you know what that means, Ryan? We talk about what's meant for you, nobody else can have, you see?
Absolutely.
Somehow, some way, even though you didn't aspire to be there, even though you didn't want to be there, the powers that be made it possible for you to be there because that was for you, right? So yes, Tatiana Ali and Tevin Campbell and all these other people in their own right are all accomplished musicians and singers and things of that nature, but that role wasn't for them. It was you. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to tell you, man. Like, I mean, like,
with the message.
message, baby, like,
good.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think the story. I think Lauren told me she went to the audition with her homegirl. Her homegirl was auditioning for the movie, and Lauren was waiting in the lobby. And they came out and was like, "Oh, are you next?" And she was like, "Oh no, I'm just here with my friend." And they like, "Well, do you sing?" She was like, "Yeah." You act? She was like, "Yeah." You wanna audition? You here? She's like, "Okay."
Look at that. See?
Crazy.
Right place at the right time.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad that you brought up because that was gonna be one of my questions, bro. Being a fan of the movie, like, what was your relationship with like Lauren? Because both of y'all could sing like that. I would think naturally you thinking like, yo, off screen, yo, let's do a song, let's do something together. Since we got this notoriety. So like, you could elaborate as much as you could, bro.
What do you mean? What's my relationship after the movie or during?
During and after, like, what was it like? Because y'all chemistry on camera was fire. It made it a classic, right? So, like, y'all being the two lead singers and vocalists, like, what was the relationship like? Why didn't you do work after?
So, my relationship with Lauren was, I was 16. She was, 17, turning 18. So, we was the only two kids from Jersey. So, we clicked up on that vibe. And she also, where they put us in the housing at the Oakwood Apartments is where that's where they would put actors when they were shooting films and stuff like that, and TV shows or whatever. It's like a legendary. Everybody in Hollywood know, like, oh yeah, I stayed at the Oakwoods. Like that's like initiation, moving to Hollywood. So they had us at the Oakwoods. We was 2 kids from Jersey, and our apartments was right above each other. Like either she lived downstairs or she lived upstairs. I can't remember. But so we hung out every day. You know what I mean? And of course, I had the crazy, crazy crush on her. But I was 16. I wasn't outside like that yet. So I can't really know how to. Yeah, I'm saying. So she
You shitting me?
So I was little bro. You know what I mean? She little bro me.
Oh, she broed you. She broed you?
Little bro me. She little bro me. Yeah, I was hurt. I was devastated. I was devastated. I had the biggest crack because she was ill, man. I mean, her mother was an English teacher and her dad was like an engineer. She was smart. She from, East South Orange or where she was, you know what I mean? So Lauren was next level. She put me on Stevie Wonder and Bob Marley and Donny Hathaway and all this crazy music. And she was just hyper intelligent and super articulate. Like everything everybody fell in love with about Lauryn Hill, I was like firsthand when she was young, 17, you know what I mean? And she just was a really, really dope person. Really, really dope person. And so we really clicked up. And I had my little crush on her or whatever, and you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It was all good. And but she was telling me then, like, oh yeah, I'm in this group called the Refugees. And I just remember all the names sounded weird. The Refugees and the nigga named Wyclef and Proswell. I was like, what is all these names? You know what I mean? So she was just like, you know what I mean? She's like, yeah, we got a record deal. We got an album coming out, a single coming out, da-da-da-da-da. So she used to talk about that all the time. And but the chemistry was there because we were really 2 kids. Like everybody else in the cast was grown. Like everybody was in their 20s. Me, Lauren, and Jennifer Love Hewitt were like the only 3 high school students.
I forgot Jennifer.
We were like
I forgot she was in the movie too. Yeah, I forgot Jennifer Love Hewitt was in it.
She was 14. I was 16. Lauren was 17. She was graduating that year, and I think one of the other cast members might have graduated that year too, but he was done with school. So only me, her, and Lauren had like a tutor. Everybody else was in their 20s. They just looked young. You see what I mean? So we was in class every day. We had the tutor every day. Like, you know what I mean? So we was actually just young kids. Like, and so that was really, really cool. We connected on that level. As far as after the movie, I mean, shit, she blew up with the
She blew up like, nah, you behave.
Hold on. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Ryan. At 16 years old, if I had the crazy crush and she friend zone, she broed me, I'd have looked at her like,
I never liked you anyway, pretty motherfucker.
I wanted to.
I'd have been salty. I'd have been salty.
But no, I was super salty, but it was like, and at the time she was dating Omar Epps, and this nigga was in Juice, and he was like, he's a man.
Yeah.
You auditioned for the wrong movie, brother. You supposed to be.
I'm like, the Juice nigga. I can't compete with that.
God,
not you.
I can't compete with. He a DJ. He from New York. He got the cane on. He had the fisherman hat.
Yeah.
That was right there. She was clever as fuck. Who thought of the fisherman?
And I love the movie. And I love you. Damn. I love this nigga, but I'm mad.
Damn you. That's all you can do.
He was the illest nigga out. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this nigga worked with Tupac. Like, oh my God, I can't compete with that.
But shit, let's be real with that, bro. But shit,
that's crazy.
You want the star of the movie too. That shit blew up. What was life like right after the movie, bro? How did life change as a 16-year-old?
So ironically, I tell people this story all the time. Life didn't change at all, and I'll tell you why. So Sister Act 2 was the first installment of Sister Act did $250 million in the box office globally. It was a hit. It was a smash. Part 2 came out November, Thanksgiving, I think, of '93 to like lackluster box office. It only did about 50 million. 50 million is nice, but 250, 50. That's considered a flop. So it's not like the movie blew up in the theater. So I went back to school. It's not like everybody and their mama went to see it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I got back to Jersey, I just went back to school. I was just Ryan again. What happened was, over time, Sister Act 2 starts playing on TV over and over and over and over. It's like the reruns of Martin or the reruns of A Different World blow up again to another generation after the fact, because it's the reruns is playing over and over and over and over and over syndication. So that's like what happened with Sister Act 2. It starts coming on every year, Christmas, every year, Thanksgiving, Lifetime, TLC Network, BET, HBO, whatever, start playing it over and over and over. So over the movie came out in 93, it was like nothing was popping from 93 till about 2000. You know what I'm saying? The movie also comes out on VHS, comes out on DVD. People's are renting it over and over. People buying the DVD, buying the VHS. So over the next 10 years, 10 to 15, 16, it started to take on like a whole life of its own, a whole resurgence, and then it became a cult classic. That's when everybody started recognizing me. That's when everybody, yo, you the guy, you was there. Oh man, people singing it in their church, and you know what I mean, everybody choir, they singing the Sister Act 2 songs, they learning the choreography, they trying to do the joy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it blew up. It blew up over time. It blew up over time.
But how does the business of that work, right? Because we're 16 again, right? We're not in the industry. Is there any royalties attached to it? Like, how was you monetizing at that moment, or did you have to monetize outside of the movie and create your own opportunity?
That's a good question. So of course, I got paid for being in the film, which wasn't a whole lot because I didn't have any credits and nothing like that under my belt. So I got like the lowest bottom contract you could get that they had to legally pay me. But my lawyer was super savvy, and what happened was I ended up writing the rap part in the song "Joyful, Joyful." When they start rapping, "Joyful, Joyful, Lord, we adore thee." And I wrote that rap. So my lawyer was able to get me my publishing credit and you know what I mean? I even got like some producer points credit because I did work like on the soundtrack. So every time the film plays, you understand what I'm saying? Every time the film will play on TV, I have, you know what I mean, intellectual property in the movie. In the movie. So for the last 30 years, I've been eating off of that. And then, you know what I mean? Obviously, you get a residual from, acting in the movie, but those residuals die over time. You know what I mean? They're big in the beginning while it's playing, but then it kind of diminishes. But the fact that I had publishing in the movie and on the soundtrack, I mean, that was my first gold record, was that movie soundtrack. I got that at 16.
Ooh. Remind me of the other bro, Jason Weaver story with the Lion King.
Yeah.
That was, man, bro, that's crazy, bro. So, and just so what after that, bro? So lead us to that. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Now, once again, your mind is that it's becoming a cult classic, right? The movie's becoming a classic, and then walk us through the City High. Because I remember the City High joint jump.
Yeah.
Soundtrack, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like I said, after the movie, because I thought I guess I'm supposed to be an actor now. So I got an agent. Now I'm going to auditions. This is immediately after 93. The movie comes out. I go back to school, 94, 95, whatever. I graduate high school, whatever, 96, 97. Like things was kind of like slow and low. Because I thought, yo, this movie going to come out. I'm going to be a superstar. I'm going to get a record deal. All my dreams are going to come true. But that's not what happened. So I kind of just went back to my city, went back to Willingboro, went back to school. I was a regular kid. And I would get recognized a little bit, but not like that. I started getting recognized more when people started seeing me on TV all the time from the movie playing over and over. And so from that point, I remember my buddies. I met Dre and Vidal, super producers, produced for Mary J, Michael Jackson, Music Soul Child, Jill Scott, whatever. They was some young guys from Philly, and they was working at Jazzy Jeff's studio in Philly. And I met them through my old manager, Marvin. And he was like, yo, Jazzy Jeff got a studio in Philly, and he's got these writers and producers, Carvin and Ivan, and all these young Jill Scott, young Glenn Lewis, Flowetry, Janae, like just all these young artists coming through Jeff's studio.
Crazy.
And so I linked up with them. I ended up going down to Church of Jazz, meeting Jeff, whatever, and kind of like getting on with the squad. And I started working at a Touch of Jazz studio in Philly with Jeff. And Jeff really liked me. He signed me there as an artist or whatever. But he like, yo, while we trying to get your album done and, you know, now I'm back to pursuing my record deal dreams. He was like, you should be writing for other people. I didn't know nothing about that really like that. You know, even though I wrote in the movie, I didn't have a writing career just yet.
Yeah.
So Jeff really was the one who was like, yo, man, you need to start writing for other artists. Because I had songs that I was singing on, rapping on, and all of that, but it was like hard to get a record deal back then, ironically, because nobody was doing that. So record labels was like, well, is he a singer or is he a rapper? He need to pick a lane. And so Jeff was like, well, look, while we trying to get your deal popping, you should write for other artists. So people was coming through, man. The dude Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish, I wrote his first single. I wrote a theme song for a TV show called Between Brothers with Kadeem Hardison, Tommy Davidson. Jeff put me in the studio with Will Smith. Will Smith came through after Men in Black. Will Smith came through like, yo, I'm about to do an album. So I started writing for Will, and I just was getting my writing chops up working at Jazzy Jeff's studio. And then things started to blow up from there a little bit. And then the City High opportunity presented itself because I was writing for the other guy in my group. He started off as a solo artist. Wyclef and them signed him to a solo deal. And I was just writing songs for him. But then when Clef and them found out that I was the writer, Clef like, oh, that's my man, Ryan. Like, he remembered me to that with Lauren. Like, you know what I mean? Me and Clef used to be on the phone talking back then. You know what I mean? Me and Clef battled. I would battle Wyclef and them and Praz and John Forte and all them at Lawrence Baby Shower. Like, you know what I mean? So Clef knew exactly who I was. You know what I mean? So he was like, yo, Ryan, what's going on with you? Da-da-da-da-da. You should come over here, come fuck with our team. And so my contract with Jazzy Jeff's company had ran out. And then I went over and signed with Wyclef and Jerry Wonder. And then that's how City High started. It was me and the other guy, Robbie. It was just a duo at first. So we was City High. And then Claudette, we was having her, she was singing on different hooks and stuff like that for us. And then Clef was like, yo, we need to put Shorty in the group. Y'all could be like the next Fugees. So then, you know, the group grew. It went from, you know what I mean, two to now it's a trio.
That makes sense.
And then, then that's how the City High thing got rolling.
And I got to ask you a question as a writer, right? I'll tell you, I got an impeccable pen, bro. When do you know a hit? Yeah, you know, what separates a hit from you, right? Because there's certain songs that you know that you have a hit, and it's like when to know to delineate that shit to somebody else or keep it for yourself. So when is that moment from you when you know a hit? Me, I just go for gut. Right? I don't have a hit record, but I know when you got, when you got something special. Something special?
Well, I think that's a really good question. I think there's a difference. There's a big, very, very big difference between knowing you got something special and having a hit record. Those are two different things. You can have special things all the time. For something to become a hit song though, takes a whole lot of other components.
Yeah.
You understand? A hard drive of specialness. You understand what I mean? You can have a whole 2,000 terabytes of, you know what I mean, special things. But for something to become a hit, and that's a very tricky, it's a thin line, and this is where a lot of times creatives get jammed up, or a lot of people, they don't understand why things ain't working for them. It's like, yo, man, I know I got that heat. I know I got that. Okay, you may have some special things, but for it to become a hit record, that's two completely different things. Yeah. There's a lot hit records that are hits that ain't really special.
Marketing and promotion, and
they're not that special. They just had all the right components, all the right stars to line up for things to press the green light and make that shit a hit record. You can pay for a hit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Message. Yeah. You know, you could buy a hit in a lot of senses, but then some things come out and it's more than a hit. That shit is it's special. You understand what I mean? And then vice versa. You can have something that's real special, but if it don't have the right components to become a hit, it never will. But it'll be special. So what I learned to do is I learned to be okay with that. And I don't chase hits. I chase special because special is gonna live with me regardless of whether it becomes a hit record or not. I don't base you waiting for a hit. You might be waiting a long time, and it may not even be your fault. It could just be bad timing, bad label, wonky promotion, didn't have the right kind of marketing, or fucking Kendrick just dropped 2 weeks before, so you put, and then your joint don't get the right kind of look because Lotto and so, you know what I mean? Or the Diddy case happened right when your son, so everybody talking about Diddy, they not talking about your son. Like, there's so many things that, so I don't base, I've been stopped basing my career off of trying to chase a hit. I just want to make magic and then kind of like let the chips fall where they may. Do my best to, you know what I mean, get it to the right person or the right situation, right artist or whatever. But you can't. What did Quincy Jones say? He said, you know, you always going in. The goal is always to do your best. You always shooting for number one, but that's not something that you have control over. What you do is you put your best foot forward, and then he said you always leave the door cracked so God can come in the room. Message. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You always going to make a number one, but that doesn't dictate whether you gonna always get that number one. But you feel me? You always shooting your shot to go in.
Yeah.
But you're not playing the game like, I got the championship, gotta get a championship, gotta get a championship. You mess around and lose like that. We just gonna go out here and play hard because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And then if the championship gonna come, then the chip gonna come. But we go out and play. We ball. That's all we do is ball. Ball is like not chips. Message.
Nah, it's a fact.
A lot of legends that ain't got no chips.
Yeah. Nah, it's a
but
fact.
they a legend. They're
a
real
fact.
legend. So that was always my goal. And when I had that kind of mindset, because I never called none of my hits. I never was like, oh yeah, this is the one. It's usually the one that you don't expect. It'd be like, oh, that one? Oh, wow,
the joint she made in 5 minutes. It was like,
like, oh, that's the one you like. And so I learned to trust that. I learned to trust that. So when I show up, if somebody call me to the studio, yo, man, we just need a smash, Ryan. We need a hit. We need it. I don't even entertain. Yo, just let me go do my thing, bro. And then whatever's supposed to happen will happen. I'm just gonna come through. What I can guarantee you is it'll be special. You see what I'm saying? When we done at the end of the night, you gonna feel what I was trying to make you feel. And then my job is done. I'm walking out the room. Cut me my check. I'll holler at y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
I go home and I sleep good. I play it in the car on the way back to the hotel. Woo! Yes, Brian. Yeah. You feel me? I achieved the goal that I wanted. I go in to make magic, and I walked away with magic. Period. All the other, I leave all that other stuff to the powers that be.
Yeah, I learned that lesson, Ryan. Because we've been doing music for about, call it 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little older than my cousin, and I started doing music in California, and I kind of learned that music the hard way, dealing with like Universal and Capitol Music Group out there. Because when I started doing music, we was going to the studio, and I think Snoop was trying to sign this artist called Blind Fury. It was like a blind. You know what I'm saying? Remember Blind Fury, right? Okay, right.
Crazy.
Right. So we happened to go to Cali a lot because I was LA. We was in LA because I lived in Cali for a while. And I learned that because we were writing, right? We were writing, and they offered me money for the song. And I'm like, well, how much money? Yeah. And they throw me a number, and I'm like, for the whole song? And they like, yeah. And I'm like, the fuck out of here. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Because I was too attached. My cousin will tell you. So one of the biggest arguments me and him used to always have, but we don't really argue a lot, but because I believe in him musically, was the fact that he didn't understand the difference between artistry and the business of music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Artistry and the business of music. And the reason I was explaining it to him is because I experienced the business side of music, right? Because I was hanging out with them so much. And I turned down the deal because I felt like it wasn't enough money, right? And then somebody pulled me to the side and was like, yo, you fucked up, because what you were supposed to do was sell that song and get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Sell the song, build the relationship. Doesn't matter what the song do. They know you work hard. They know what your pen game is. 1 lead to 2, 2 lead to 4, and then you what's called build your catalog, right? Because at the time, technically, I had no published works to reference, right? So when you don't have any published works to reference, they're gonna say, well, what do you want? And I give them a number, and they go, well, what are you basing that off of?
Yeah.
Right? Who have you written for? How many published works do you have? Where has your music appeared in any movies? And then and they run.
How do you quantify it?
How do you quantify it, right? Now, mind you, at the time, I'm like 20, right? I'm like 20, 19, 20. I'm actually, I was still in the Marine Corps at the time. You understand what I'm saying? Right before I got out. And but I was used to getting money so much that the money they was throwing, I was like, I can make that on the block. Like, you know what I'm saying? I run through that. Now, I take that shit and go to Rodeo to the Iceberg store, and that's going in one afternoon. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. Word up.
So I learned a very hard lesson. I learned a very hard lesson about understanding business, right? And understanding another thing, creativity cannot be masked, right? You can hold it back, but as you continue to create things, we create so fast that as an artist, and I'm pretty sure you've experienced this. When I used to rap like heavy, and you know, I engineer, I'm in the studio now. I don't know if you can see, but I'm in a full studio now, right? I used to make music so fast that within a week or 2 weeks time, I would have so much material that I made that I don't even like the shit I made last week, because you progress so fast, right? And then you become almost jaded because you don't want nobody else to hear the old shit, because you're like, I'm so much better now. I'm so much better now, right? You understand what I'm saying? So I learned that lesson the very hard way of like you said, trying to hold on to something because it was special to me as an artist, and not looking at the bigger picture and say, but what are you trying to do business-wise? Are you trying to get into the music industry and create multiple streams of revenue? Are you trying to make this a lifestyle and a business for you? Or are you just trying to be like, I want the hit, I want the chip, you see? So with the
I learned that lesson.
I gotta give him one. This 150 is episode 150. No, yes, with the business. But my thing was, I'm the creator, let me create. Right, like what my biggest thing when he was saying is like, we have to create a specific way for a specific sound. I'm like, my sound is my sound. I know when I hear something. When I had a song called "Thank God," bro. Wrote that shit in 2 seconds. Like when those songs, 2 seconds, and won awards. Just those, all that. You know what I'm saying? It's the ones you don't think about. So that's when you said that, I felt that. So when I was like, yo, we need to create. Just don't put me in a box. It may not be a song that may be norm to you, but we don't know if it's a hit because it didn't have the other variables behind it. We don't know yet. So just let me create. And that was the biggest thing.
Okay. Now this is what I was explaining to him. At that time, I was running around with Murder Inc. a lot. I was with Murder Inc. a lot, and I was with DNY from Rough Riders a lot. And so I knew a lot of CEOs on a first name basis. I would be in the studio with Irv and watch Seven Aurelius, and you know what I'm saying, watch these producers come in and play. And I used to watch Irv in his studio. And these are A-list producers, right? A-list producers come in, he's in his studio, somebody put something on, 6 seconds, next. And then he'd be like, yo, you don't sample? Like, now these are A-list producers that these hits that he didn't take end up being platinum records for somebody else, but it wasn't his sound. That's what I was trying to explain to my cousin. Like, listen, I have relationships with certain labels. Like, literally, I can walk you in the door. Like, you can't get a meeting with Irv, like just walking in. You can't get a meeting with DNY. You can't just walk in the door and get a meeting with these CEOs. And this is when Murder Inc. was Murder Inc. You understand what I'm saying? So I was saying to him, like, I'm not telling you don't make music your way. I'm telling you, if you even want the people I'm connected to where I can walk you in the door. And remember, sometimes you get that one ask, right? That one ask, right? Because again, I'm not your platinum level producer. I'm just, you know, a guy producing and hanging around, and we working. But I'm like, if you want me to use my one ask, It's like a resume. You don't walk to Apple, that's a technical company, with a resume saying you worked at Walmart, you worked at Fine Fair, and with a supermarket, I've been a cashier. Resume. They're gonna look at you like, what the fuck are you even talking about? That's what I was explaining to them. You have to tailor make your music to whoever you're bringing it to even allow them the opportunity to give you the opportunity to even listen to that shit past 7 seconds.
I think and this is it's a lesson that I learned very, very early. To both of your points, I think you both are right. I think it's a very fine line, you know, between the artistry and the business. A lot of the number one, I'll say this: I learned very early. Jazzy Jeff helped me understand this very early. Was to you don't have to be married to the music. He was like, Ryan, you are a songwriter. You are a music making machine.
It is.
Like he was like, you'll make more music. You don't have to hold, because at first the songs he was playing for like Will Smith and these guys, they were my songs. They was the songs I was supposed to be using for my album to go try to get me a deal. He was like, yo, but in the interim, while we was trying, because it was hard for me to get a deal, because the label, I was singing, I was rapping, I was doing everything. And at that time, that wasn't the thing like that. So he was like, well, look, in the interim, why don't we start getting some of these joints off where we can, and you can start, to your point, start to build your name in another way. We can go around the back door. You can't get in the front door. You go around this door. You can't get in that door. Go to the bathroom window. Can't do that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So he was telling me, using examples like Missy Elliott, who, you know, Missy had a hard time getting a deal in the beginning. Nobody wanted to sign her, right? She was the, you know, heavier black girl. They wasn't looking for that, right? So, but she had that crazy pen. So then Missy started launching them rockets off on other people. And that's how she came through that way. A lot of people went that route. So he made me understand very, very early that I don't, as a creative, have to be married to my music. And I'm so thankful for that lesson, because it's like, then when I got in the rhythm of it, then it was like, all right, I like this. I like when I started making money. You understand what I'm saying? And not for nothing, the little rap joint I did in Sister Act, I didn't rap. I didn't say the lyrics. Somebody else did. I wrote that part for somebody else. So it was naturally in me to give. I'm a generous kind of guy anyway. I like to give anyway, right? My thing is, going back to my point of, so this is where the creative side kicked in. So I learned that business side. And then you start learning how to tailor songs for artists, obviously through repetition. The more you work with artists, you start understanding the mindset of artists, the mindset of A&Rs, what they're looking for, the mindset of them, because you got to make everybody in the room happy. The manager want one thing, the A&R, the label want one thing, the artist, maybe they mom and dad there, so they only want them to talk about a certain day, and then the artist wants a certain thing, and you trying to figure out how to craft something that makes everybody happy so that you can make some money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the business side of it. But then on the creative side, I learned, because if I'm so business, my creativity starts to suffer. You understand what I mean? Because back to my point of, I've never been able to really call the hit, because trying to make the hit, trying to call the hit, you can run into, like, you start to lose your authenticity. You're chasing a sound that's already out, you know, because the label gonna be like, oh man, we need another Lil Nas X. Old Town Road is hot, so we need an Old Town Road. And it's like, I don't even do that Old Town Road shit. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? So I started to learn to then. That's when I learned how to just come in and just create magic, just create a feeling, just create the moment and the magic and the feeling that I need to create. And that's what I need to do. And then everything else is like, you start being able to, I guess with experience, you start learning how to, you know how a fighter, his trainer, it's like, you have to be sharp, you have to be a killer, but you got to be relaxed. It's like you have to be both.
Yeah.
You have to, you know what I'm saying? you can't be so stiff and so that you're not loose. Them punches everything it's like a dance. You gotta be able to, you feel what I'm saying? It's a dance to it. So I start learning how to play the game, to give them what they want, to feed the machine, but at the same time I don't lose my own authenticity and my weird ideas and the creativity that feeds my soul. You got to learn how to, I tell my kids, it's like you want to learn how to, you got to do something that feeds your belly, but you got to also do things that feed your soul. That's because spirit, and we're a physical body. So it ain't just about feeding my belly. What I got to do to get money, get money. That's just feeding your belly. You're going to lose your soul. And what profit a man to gain the world, but lose his soul? See what I'm saying? But you can't be so, I just want to feed my soul, that you don't know how to feed your belly, because then you're going to die. So it's a very, very fine line, and it's a very, very delicate balance of, I'm aware of what hits feel like, how they make me feel. I do watch the charts. I do look at the numbers. I understand it's a numbers game, but then I understand there's a certain science to why hit records are hit records. I study, I do the research, I look for patterns. Damn, that sounds like such and such song. That sounds like that's the same chord progression as such and such a song, and that was a hit. Or you know what I mean? I look at you know, there's even one of my OGs, Pope from Trackmasters. He used to be like, Ryan, if you go back what did he say? If you look at the Billboard charts from 10 years ago, look at the top 10 songs that was hits. He said, and then if you go back 15 years or something, like he was giving me this time, it's like every 10 to 15 years, he said the top 10 songs always have the same chord progression. Such and such a song was number one. They all in the key of A. And then you go back 15 years, top 10 song, they all in the key of, you see what I'm saying? He was like, and you could do, so there are patterns and systems that make the business run the way it does. It's not just all creativity and my feelings, whatever I'm feeling and however I want. There is systems and programming to it all as well. You understand what I mean?
Right, of course.
But then also, because I am an artist and all the music comes from your soul anyway, it's like you never want to lose that, because a lot of my big hit records was just when I was just doing me. Whenever I was trying to make a hit for somebody, I never did it. Every time I just was doing some Ryan shit and just doing what I felt, those be the records that take off. So it's a very fine line.
But when you're a creator, right? Like what I was telling my cousin is, you're a writer. You heard what he said initially, right? His pen game crazy. That's what I used to, bro, you are a writer, right? I'm not telling you, again, to change your craft completely. What I'm saying is, right now, what level are you at, right? You're doing mixtapes. I'm telling you, I can walk you in to talk to the CEO of one of the #1 rap labels out. For somebody else, I could have charged you $100,000 and people would have paid that just for a fucking audience with this dude. For any one of these CEOs, right? I'm saying I can walk you in the door, but you know how they say get ready so that you don't have to be ready. Even if he doesn't pick a song that he likes in the moment, if he sees that you have his sound, he'll invite you back for that second audition, for that third audition. See, my job was just trying to get him in the door. I don't know if you know, do you know Rico Love?
But wait. Before you continue,
of course.
That's what he just said. That would have fed the belly, but not fed the soul. I would have went in there and sounded like somebody else, and it wouldn't have fed my soul. So the introduction wouldn't have mattered to me because I wasn't being me. And had I been told no with your sound, I would have never forgave myself.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to come back to that.
You know what? Now I would say, check this out.
Go ahead.
Check this out. Here's the thing too. Here's the thing that like I said, it's just a very fine line. Now, if you can learn to master within yourself the ability to feed your belly and feed your soul simultaneously, that's when you a cold motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like niggas like Pharrell have mastered that, because for all Pharrell shit from the very beginning been off the wall. From the Neptunes all the way up to "Cause I'm Happy," he always is doing him. Always. Pharrell ain't never chased no sound. From what? That wasn't the sound on the radio. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's certain people who have always had the ability to do them, never compromise who they are, and kill the charts at the same time. I feel like Kanye is one. Like, so that's
starving, nigga.
That's the go.
I was starving, nigga. I fed the soul like a motherfucker.
So see. So my thing, Ryan, right? So at the time also, right? I had just met Rico Love, right? Yeah. Because my cousin was working with him very frequently. So we was flying out. Yeah, Rico's a monster. So you're gonna know the story, right? So we flew out to Miami to fuck with Rico Love. At this time, I think Meek had just got his deal. I think he had just got his deal, right? But Rico was also coming out with his own label. I think it was called Division One, right? Division One. And his first artist was Chris from the Young Guns. You understand? So we flying out to Miami. So I had a chance to meet with Mike Kaiser. And you understand? We with them and we with Rico. And one of the best lessons that Rico ever taught me in our brief interactions of me meeting him a couple times, he was like, yo, Chad, let me explain something to you. Fundamentally, I make music, right? He says, I make music like a movie, right? There's always and he taught me the uncanny understanding of how to make music, right? Mm-hmm. Intro, progression, midline, lead up. I mean, he taught like just talking to him and watching him. Then I truly understood like why he's able to make the hits that he makes, right? But then, so you work with Usher, so perfect example, like him and Usher, he's made so many records on Usher's album, right? Mm-hmm. Right? He's made so many records on Usher's album, right? So one of the things that he was saying again is like, yo, when I get in there with Usher, I'm in Usher mode. Not that I have my own songs, but I know how Usher likes to sing. I know his highs, I know his lows. You understand? Absolutely. So when I go in the studio with him, right, I make things that are tailor-made to Usher because I know I'm gonna maybe make 10 and he might pick 2 anyway, but it's the difference between him hearing his sound all the way through and being like, I can fuck with it. Which one do I pick? Or me just going in there playing a bunch of 20 randos and then losing him and then the process being a lot harder. You understand what I'm saying? So again, right? I was talking to young Jarrett at the time, right? He was a lot younger, and you know what I mean? And I was just trying to explain to him, like, yo, listen, bro, I don't know how long I'm gonna be in position, right? My man Cool just typed in a chat. He said he remembers that, right? Me and my man Cool used to do music together. He'll tell you the same story. He was with Cypher Sounds. We had music on the radio. I was in the Source magazine 3 months back to back. I was moving, Ryan. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying to my cousin, yo, listen, man, nobody believe in you like I believe in you, but I don't know how long this opportunity is going to last, right? All I'm saying is I'm not saying I can make you the biggest superstar in America, but what I am saying is I could take you from where you are and at least get you up to close to my level. I could bring you in and introduce you to these people. I can get the process started for you. Now, if you don't want that for any reason, then it's an opportunity that you can decline. But all I'm doing is offering it to you. Now, remember, we from the projects. Nothing is given to us. We don't know nobody in these type of positions. So I'm a unicorn technically for him because ain't nobody else that we know that are in these positions that are even offering him this opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? So that was the only message that I was getting across. Like I said, like, we was with Cypher Sounds, we with this one, we with that one. We getting songs played on the radio, we getting radio play, we in these nationally published. I was in the Source, biggest hip hop magazine, back to back. You open the page, have people from jail like, nigga, I see you on page 46. 10 minutes, you know what it is. That's a fact. You understand what I'm saying, Ryan? So all I was trying to do was provide an opportunity saying, yo, I don't know how long this opportunity is going to last, right? But while I'm here, let me at least get your process started for you, right? Because once if this, you know how opportunities are, Ryan, I'm just knocking. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and things change. Irv went through where they went, things changed and things happened. And unfortunately, the opportunity, kind of faded out, Also, I was really good friends with Benzino and Dave Mays from the Source. So you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, listen, bro, I'm with Benzino all the time. I could get you here, then I'm trying to plug you in, bro. I'm trying to give you the cheat code to this shit because we didn't have the structure that you had. We had to learn it ourselves, right? We didn't have people teaching us how to properly record. We didn't have people influencing us and saying, yo, you got it. You got the talent. Do it, right? What we had was a bunch of people in the neighborhood that wanted to rap, But technically, instead of working together and pooling our resources, everybody's fighting against each other because everybody wants to wear the crown.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to wear the crown. Instead of forming like Voltron, like Wu-Tang did, and taking the whole scene over, and everybody can eat for the rest of your lives, and then eventually you can do your solo thing. Understanding one person has got to get their foot in the door first. We keep fighting each other, and then by us fighting each other, guess what happens? Nobody won.
Message.
Yeah.
Nobody won. Opportunity went to waste. I got songs on iTunes, but I stopped rapping. Cool was on traveling back and forth Miami. He stopped rapping. We all stopped. Shit went crazy. Like,
how funny the world is, right? And now 10 years later,
hold on.
Understanding what he's saying, we start the podcast. We're on episode 150, and guess what brought us to the Def Jam building? Podcasting brought us to the Def Jam building, bro.
It all comes back. So that's full circle. Full
circle, bro. Like, man. And so, bro, for you, with the City High joint, bro, I would love to talk about that with the group, bro, and then the evolution. I remember those on Life. But matter of fact, what was that studio session like? Because I like to hear studio sessions. What was that session like, bro? You played the beat, you was like, nigga, what you doing with it? What the fuck was doing your noodle, dog? What the fuck was on your noodle?
I think at that time, me and like I said, me and the guy Robbie, initially City High was just me and him. I decided, I left Touch of Jazz, which is Jeff's company, Jazzy Jeff's company in Philly, and then I went and signed over there with Booger Basement with Wyclef and Jerry. So me and Robbie went to work immediately on.
Wait, did you say Booger Basement?
Booger Basement.
Like a booger in your nose?
No, like boogie,
like boogie, Booger Basement.
Booger.
Oh,
but it is a booger. You're right.
It sounds like a booger.
You are right, but wrong context.
I was just like, that's kind of crazy. That's the Booger Basement.
Their label was called Booger. Jerry's label was called Booger Basement because the Booger Basement was Jerry's mom's basement where the Fugees recorded their album.
Oh, got you.
In East Orange, in the hood.
It could be called Booger, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah, it was called the Booger Basement. It was called the Booger Basement. It was the Booger Basement studio. That was that's where the Fugees made all their records at, and then, you know what I mean. So he started a label called Booger Basement. So nobody's ever asked me that, but
I like to hear the studio set.
Yeah. No, but the What Would You Do song, me and Robbie started recording. And it came from, it kind of was like, the boys and girls want to hear a true story. It was kind of like a true story because.
You got to tell us the story.
We got to give him the horns.
Oh, you got to give him the horn.
We in 6-7 periods.
Here we go. Story time.
Yeah. Yeah, just as it's written in the song. Boys and girls want to hear a true story. Saturday night was at this real wild party. They had the liquor over 4 in a cup. About 5-6 strippers trying to work for. But we was at my man, one of my best friends. He started dating this girl who was a dancer, and so she used to have these little soirees at the crib. Like, yo, pull up. I got my girls coming through. You know what I mean? I think it was for his birthday or something like that. And so he like, yo, my shorty, for my birthday. Boom, she gonna have the girls come through, pull up. It was a movie. Oh, it was glorious. But
that's why the coach. This is why the coach needs this platform. You said the da. I saw the whole shit. I saw the whole shit. Nigga said da. I said, oh my god, that's insane.
Crazy.
Yo, it was a lot. My man started dating this dancer, and our lives changed forever. Like. We all won. We all won when he won with that one. We all won. The whole squad. You hear me? The whole squad, because her squad was official. It was a lot. But anyway, so Pete,
talk to him.
We at this, we at the party. Everything going on. You feel me? And one of the girls was a girl that I went to school with. And I was like, yo, but I changed the name and all of that in the song. You know, I'm like, her name was Lonnie. She went to junior high with me. Like, of course, obviously, I'm not going to say her real name. So, you know, I had that. I'm a writer, so I had to write it in a way, you know what I mean? Where you tell the story, but you got to protect people's identities, obviously. But yeah, so I saw her and I'm like, yo, like I ain't seen her really since like elementary school. And I was like, she was all grown up.
You
And
grew
I'm
up.
like,
Grew
yeah,
up.
I mean, I was like, wait, yo, what's, you know what I mean? And I remember distinctly, like, she was kind of raised real kind of strict, a Jehovah's Witness or whatever. So it was just a complete, like, 180 from the girl I remembered going to school with, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, you know, we had a great time and all that, but I was like, yo, like, so what's going on? What is this? Like, you know, and she got to talking about her life and all these different things, and it inspired me. And I also coupled that with a couple of other stories from other females that I had interactions with or whatever, and just different things that was going on in their life or whatever. And I sort of like created this one character and for the song and just kind of pinned it up. I was very imaginative, you know, I'm a very imaginative type of writer. Like I'll just listen to y'all talking about y'all music story and I'll go write a song about it. You know what I mean? So
Just give me
yeah,
2%.
I
Give me 2%. I just need 2%.
See, 150, you gotta cut us in 2%.
Just let me get 2%.
We ain't greedy.
2% of the 200% of publishing. Most people think it's 100% publishing. It's actually 200%. We just want 2% of the 200%. I'll take 1%. You take 1%. We ain't greedy.
So yeah, man. And then I you know, I thought it was just a compelling story. And then when Robbie and I were in the studio shortly after that night, you know, we was in the studio at his crib. We just had a little setup at the crib, and we was just coming up with music like we normally do or whatever. And I just started writing about it. Boys and girls want to hear it. I'm just thinking about like it was the most recent thing that happened to me. Like, yo, that was crazy. Seeing Shorty this, that, no. She said this in her life, and boom, boom. She had a baby at home, and you know what I mean. And then I just kind of like crafted the story to just, you know, make it authentic, but at the same time, write a movie. You gotta, you know, sensationalize it, and you gotta turn it into a movie. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I just treated it like I was writing a script. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's how that went down.
You ever? The side note before we go to the next, but did you ever see the young lady again after?
Never saw her again. I hadn't seen her since like I feel like the 3rd or 4th grade. So can you imagine seeing somebody, a full-grown woman, in your 20s now? You 23 now, and you see her, and you like, yo, and it's in the soiree, and the soiree is soireeing. And you like, yo,
damn! Absolutely.
She tell you this whole, you know, and she tell you this whole story and this whole thing and yada yada yada, and you just like, damn, that's crazy. And then you know, and then I never saw her again after that.
Damn.
You know what? I gotta go to a soiree soon.
First of all, Jarrett, those used to be called classic house parties. That was the house party.
Matter of fact,
house party.
The coldest part was I saw 2 girls there. One I hadn't seen from like 3rd grade, which really blew my mind. And the other one, maybe junior high. So it was wild. It's wild, like music, everything. And you like, yo, and when Shorty's friends start coming, yeah, my homegirls is coming, they coming now, and we there, and then they start coming in, they pulling up, and I'm like, oh, and then they start doing boop, 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 and I'm like, whoa, yo. But they were very gracious. They were very gracious. We had a really good time.
Very great. Oh, hold on. Very gracious. I tell you what, on that note, I'm gonna tell you just like this.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No. I thought you was
very gracious indeed.
Very gracious.
I got a question for you though. Sidebar. Talking about you writing. because I've experienced this myself. So, you know, you being more established than me, I want to know how you felt about this situation. I used to do a lot of going to labels. This one time I had went to, I think it was like Island Def Jam, Island Music. It was in the Def Jam building, whatever. I was talking to, I believe it was Bobby Dash at the time was running that, right? And I had this song produced by Ron Browse called I'm Number One. You understand what I'm saying? So I played it. Like, yo, play that shit again, play that shit again. And you know, we played it. Shit ain't working, whatever. Yo, like a month later, I swear to God, I heard Fat Joe come out with a song called I'm Number One. Like, you motherfucker! Like, you motherfucker! You play that again! Savage! I'm a savage! I'm like, you motherfucker! Yo, have you ever gone, you know how you play, you know how you go take your music and you play it for people? Have you ever gone and, you know, to these labels or submitted music to people and they say, nah, we're not going to use it or we're not going to whatever, and then you hear almost an exact rendition of it, enough for them to say like, you know, it's not yours legally, but have you ever had kind of like one of your works stolen from you like that? And if so, how did you feel about it?
Stolen, I can't say stolen. I had a situation where I was working, I was like signed to this independent label, and this was around like 2005. I was doing my solo thing. The group City High had broke up or whatever. I was doing my writing thing, and then I had linked up with this independent label, and I had did this album. I had did this independent album, and I was doing it all myself from the muscle. And then I looked up with this independent label, and they was like, "Yo, let's take that album. We can help really take it to the next level, put some more money behind it, yada yada yada." And I was like, "Okay, cool." They like, "So, you know, we feel like you need a couple more songs. Let's work on a few more songs to add to it." All right, bet. Work on a few extra songs. And there was this other artist that they had signed to the label too. So anyway, we do some new songs or whatever, and then all of a sudden something happened to where the label I don't know if they folded or I don't know what happened, but niggas got ghosts on me. And I'm calling, like it was time we was about to put out the first single, and we was about to put out the first single, and it was time for them to like put up the money for the radio and for the this and for the promotion and then da 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 da. And then all of a sudden they just disappeared on me. It was weird. It was the weirdest thing. And I'm calling and trying to reach out, and I'm getting to run around. It was so weird. And I was like, I didn't know what happened. Long story short, fast forward to about 2011, 2011, my homegirl from Atlanta hit me up and was like, "Hey, your song I just heard your song on the radio. Remember that song you played for me back in like 05, you know, such and such a song?" I was like, "Yeah." She like, "Yeah, I just heard it on the radio, but it ain't you singing it."
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Crazy.
So she was like, "Yeah, such and such, this, that." I did a little digging. It was out with the video and the whole nine, and I was like, "Oh, that was old boy from the other art." Wait, huh? So only thing that reason why I don't feel slighted by it. It was because then when I get the hitting up, now I'm getting immediate responses. "Oh, hey, yeah, da 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 da." The spot said, "What's going on? What's with the splits and the this and the, oh yeah, of course you're gonna," and all the numbers was what they were supposed to be for splits and percentages and this, that, and the third. But yeah, they definitely put that joint out like 5-6 years later on somebody else.
You know what?
I could have went hard and tried to cease and desist it, but it's like I was like, as long as I'm getting my proper credit and my proper whatever, I was just.
You're so creative. It's like when you're creative like that, bro. It's like it doesn't even matter because, bro.
Nah, no. Hold on. It does matter.
Hold
on. It does matter.
It does matter because we put our time and that's our IP. But you're a creator, bro. Motherfucker, this. You had this, nigga.
No, wait. I'm just saying, cause what I'm saying, the reason I said it mattered was because of just the premise of it.
How it went down, man.
Thank you.
But
he went bringing an
like,
album for himself. The discussion was never me writing for somebody else. That's all I'm saying, right? If we had the discussion initially, okay, you took it. That was the understanding why I was there. It doesn't matter what year you put it out. We always had the understanding I was writing for somebody else. Fine. When you had the conversation with me on my album of let's make more songs to just complete the album or, just add to the album, and then I hear it for somebody else and you ghost me, that's completely different.
That shit was fucked up, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And it was weird. It was weird because it was like, I didn't know if homie, the label head, I didn't know if he was like fucked up, if he was sick. I didn't know. It was weird. It was like, how is he just like disappeared? Like it was time to go. We finished the album, we finished mixing, we mastered it. The album is done with the new songs. Everything is ready to go. Time to I think we was gonna do the artwork, or we probably had already done the artwork or whatever that was. And now it was time. We talked about the rollout. We talked about the radio push. We talked about everything was ready to go. And it's like, bet we starting next Friday. We starting the launch.
That's why.
Next Friday. I'm calling this secretary. She he just wasn't answering. He wasn't hitting me back. And I'm texting. So I'm calling this is, yeah, I'll have him call you. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm trying to see what's up with that. Okay, yeah, I'll have him call. Oh, that's funny. I just thought I'll have him call you. Bro, this went on for months. It was weird. To where I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? So I didn't know if something happened with his kids. I didn't know if something happened I didn't know if it was personal or something I did. I didn't understand, yo. He disappeared, bro, for years from 2005. And then the record came out in 2011.
Okay, but wait. Let's talk business now. 2005, your catalog is A, B, C, and D. By 2011, 5-6 years later, your catalog is E, F, G, H, I. You saying the splits was right and everything was right, but that was right based on you releasing in 2005, not 6 years later when you're more established. If you'd have had the meeting,
yesterday's price is not today's price.
So you beat me to it. I was leading.
It's like this. It's like if us three, I come to the city, we do a record we gonna do this little joint project, right?
Yeah.
So we do this joint project, and we gonna call it the Trinity, and it's us three, and we working on this Trinity project, and we make these songs. And we already decide we splitting everything 3 ways: the music, the whatever, right? We all contribute to the beat, we all contribute to the lyrics, whatever. So it's all good. 33rd and the 3rd, right? So, but then we about to shoot the video, we about to do the and then I'm calling and y'all like, I'm talking to you. I'm like, yo, what up with Jay? Oh yeah, I just talked to Jay. Tell him, all right, I'm calling to Jay. Yo, what's up? I can't get. Oh yeah. Shit get weird.
Yeah.
8 years later, the song come out on the locks. The song come out on the locks, and I'm like, but then when now I'm hitting y'all up and you respond. Oh, yo, what up, bro? Been a long time. Yeah, we gotta get on. Yeah, we need to talk, man. It's been crazy, bro. But as far as the locks joint go, the splits is still the same from 2024. It's still, and then when I look it up, everything's still the same. It's me and Doom, 33 and the 3rd, everything. So
that's nasty.
It's still the same because we, the splits are what they are because when we created it, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's nasty work, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to ask you this before we go. Y'all know we getting late, bro, because this is 150. And sorry, Instagram. I got mad comments on Instagram. I'm mad into the interview. I'm fucking enjoying myself. I'm sorry.
We'll read some of the comments, Cardo. Let's get people involved.
Crazy. We got John Graham just pulled up. We got Justin Dunn pulled up. My dude D, Sis pulled up. We got so many. Ferrari, Crystal, P. Doug was going crazy, and Doug got about. I'm not gonna read 20 comments, but I love you, Doug.
Yeah.
Doug Melvin, We're gonna put you in touch with Doug, bro. We're gonna make
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. You and Doug would be a great fit, man.
No, we definitely gonna hook you up, bro. But
Yeah.
what was one of your mama made it moments, bro? What was one of the, if you look back at your career right now, what was one of the things that you would hang your hat on? What is one of the craziest moments you was like, damn, I'm that guy?
The mama I made it.
Yeah, what's that one?
I ain't gonna lie,
bro.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I felt that this year, man. Usher at the Super Bowl, and he sang like what, three of my songs at the Super Bowl. That was like, and I was in Thailand. I'm in Thailand at the time, so I gotta get up at like what, 4 o'clock. We went to the sports bar at like 5 a.m. because the time difference. By the time the Super Bowl came on, in Vegas or whatever, it's 5 a.m. in Thailand. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we in the sports bar, we turning up. The Super Bowl is on, and I'm like, wow, like I made it to the Super Bowl. That was pretty big. That I ain't even gonna lie. Out of my 30 years in the game, I've been blessed. I've been a part of a lot of iconic things, but Usher at the Super Bowl, and he starts his performance with one of my songs. He started with "Caught Up," one of them,
yeah,
me and Pooh Bear's song. So it was like that was big. That was big because the Super Bowl is one of the biggest stages, if not the biggest stage.
Okay, wait. Before you go further, knowing because they announce ahead of time who's gonna perform at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, from a writer's standpoint, if I knew Usher like phone call away, nigga, is you gonna perform one of them? I need to. I'm just being honest with you, Ryan. Right?
You gonna do 1, 2, 3? You gonna do all?
If you even do a snippet, I need to be there. Like, I'm just saying, not saying I don't know what you were doing in Thailand, right? Whatever the case, business or vacation. I'm just saying though, if you knew or possibly had an idea that he might be doing some of your joints on the world's biggest stage, why wouldn't you have want to just be in the building like, yo, this is me? Like,
because well, I mean, I've been traveling. I kind of like left the States back in like December. I've been traveling, living abroad, traveling for like since like last December. I got rid of my place in LA, got rid of my car, gave all my studio stuff away, furniture, everything, and I just started traveling around the world. And so I'm just at a different place in my life. So I'm not really I'm not in the space of like needing to be in the building or at the party or at the function. I'm kind of like, I'm just in another space, and I've been in this space for a minute, and I'm like soaking in other cultures, doing other things. I've been to plenty parties, been plenty of awards and shows and all of that stuff. So to me, I felt like the bigger flex was like, yeah, my shit's on in the Super Bowl, and I ain't even in the country.
Hold on, Ryan. We got to get you, Ryan. We got to get you. Hold on. You ain't running from nothing, right, Ryan? You coming back, right? You're not going out the valley. Hold on, Ryan. Hold on, Ryan. You want to make sure. But listen, hold on. Before we air this, well, it's airing now, so motherfuckers go hit us up. But Ryan, please, you're not running from nothing, right? We gotta ask you, man. Like, you coming back to the United States, right? You don't gotta finish this shit, right?
I've been back to the States, but no, I ain't running from nothing, bro. You gotta remember, man. Yeah. I'm 47 years old. I'm almost 50 years old. I've been in the music business for over 30 years. I've been a part of like timeless classics. I'm cemented in the culture. From being in front of the screen, being behind the scenes, like my shit's in the books, and I've been blessed, man. And so for me, at the creative side, feeding your soul, you feel me? It's like, what's next? What's the next thing that I'm looking for to feed my soul? And I've lived a very full life, man. I got 3 adult children. My kids are grown. I've been married twice, divorced twice. Like I've lost loved ones. I've been through a lot, man. So it's like, I made money, I lost money, I made money again. Like, I've done it all, bro. I've done it all. So in my young 47 years, but I'm like, what's really the next thing for me? And I've always had dreams to live outside the country, live in other countries, and soak in other cultures and languages. And like, it's a part of my growth and expansion. And so I'm like, I was like, I went on like this sort of like eat, pray, love, soul sabbatical, if you will, just to reconnect with myself, find that next, inspiration. And it's a big world out here, man. I want to go see it. I want to go see it. And so, at that time, I was like, all right, that's dope. Super Bowl's in Vegas, that's dope. But like, I had just went to Vegas and I saw Usher and at his at the residency concert. So I was like, going to Vegas I've been burning Vegas down for the last like.
Get your passport, bro.
I lived in Miami. I lived in South Beach. I lived in LA. I grew up in Jersey, Philly, New York. Like I've already been, in all the hot spots in the States and all that. I lived in Atlanta when Atlanta was up. Like, I've done all of that already. So I'm like, man, I need to do something else. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm looking for the next thing. Like, so I was super honored and proud that Usher was doing it. I thought it was just due. I hit him up, you know what I mean? Yo, bro, this is crazy. But he was kind of telling me about it before, but he didn't tell me it was the Super Bowl. He was just saying, yo, I got something coming. It's crazy, bro. Like, he didn't tell me what it was. So by the time the announcement came out and all of that, I was already into my world travels. And I just thought it would be really cool to watch the Super Bowl from Thailand. Like how dope is that?
I ain't mad at that, bro. I ain't fucking
Love
mad.
it, man.
But no, I'm not on the run. I'm just, I'm in Mexico right now. So I just like to travel, man. I love to travel. And when I finally got the opportunity, I was single. My children were grown. They was kind of starting to go off and do their own thing and live their own lives and stuff like that. It afforded me the time and the space to just, it don't take a lot. And I've learned to.
Don't take a lot.
It's like I've learned that I think the key to when you're young, like Will Smith talked about this, when you're young, first half of your life, success is based on what you can get, what you can acquire. You're trying to get a job and get a car, get an education, get the wife, get the house, get the this, get. You're trying to get the success, get all these things that you want to amass and acquire because that's what success means, what you got. He said, but then you reach an age and a stage where now success is learning what you can live without, what you can give away, am I still the shit without this car? Am I still happy without this crib? Am I still at peace without these things and this? And then you learn to live without. They say if you want to really see the true measure of a man, you don't add a bunch of shit to his life. You start taking things away to see what he's really worth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got to be dripping in designer every time, maybe you really not him like that. Are you still that nigga? Can you still be that guy and show up with that presence and that oeuvre and that vibe, that vibration about you with none of that on? Or do you need all of that to make you who you are? You got to pull up in the latest this to make you who you are? Or can you just walk up on the scene and still get the attention? You feel me? So I've been on a mission of like, and I've already done that and had those things. So I'm like, what's next now? And that's why I'm like, I'm going into other countries where people don't know me. Can I make friends? Can I still have that effect on people? Can I still live a happy life? Going into foreign lands and new territories, like that's what success is for me. It's the bigger flex. Not necessarily to say I was in Vegas again. That's not necessarily the flex for me. Or I was at the Super Bowl again or whatever. Like, yeah, nah, I'm cool. I was honored. Like, yo, man, they singing my shit at the Super Bowl right now. Yeah, that's dope. I'm over here right now though, and then after here, I'm gonna go to Bali. And then from Bali, you know what I mean? Like, that's just a doper. That's iller to me. I'm sorry.
Hey, can I keep it real, bro? This is, and for the listeners, this is our first time meeting, Ryan. And to give people the context, this is first of all, this is episode 150. I'm honored to have you on, bro. But you sound like a brother that's happy and a brother that went through a lot to get to where he is today. That's what I'm getting out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't do this shit and don't bet at all. They don't know what it's like to go through the peaks and valleys. You feeling like you that guy, you on top of the world. They see you on the TV, but they don't know what's going on behind the scenes, man. You robbing people. Hey, Paul, this is happening. They don't know how you eat. The facade. You got to keep the brand going, and that's so much. bro. And so I want to tell you, as your brother that's hearing your story right now, you sound happy.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Like, you know what I'm
like
saying?
that soul is full. Like that soul is
Yeah, the soul is full, bro.
That
like
soul is full.
Yeah. Because I've been I've been working since I was 14 years old. I've been in the music game since I was 14 years old, professionally, like paying bills and helping my parents and doing different things since I was 14, 15 years old, getting to the bag and getting awards and accolades and all of those things. And once again, to God be the glory. I'm blessed, I'm humble, and all of that. But then I'm also a creative, right? So I'm looking for the next thing, and it ain't another watch. That ain't what's gonna feed my soul. I don't need another watch. I don't need to go to another party. If anything, I want to wake up. Now my new thing, like Russell Simmons said, I traded in late night drinking for early morning meditation. You see what I mean? So I'd rather be in the rainforest in Costa Rica somewhere, 6 o'clock in the morning, listening to the macaws and looking at the sloths coming down and looking at these trees that have been here for hundreds of years. Standing, I'm just chasing a new high. It ain't late night studio sessions and club with bottles and bitches. Like, I done been there, done that so much that I'm looking for something different. I need sunrises. I need to hear the ocean waves. I do yoga. I work out every day. I'm just chasing a whole nother thing so that I could be an inspiration in another way, so that I could teach my kids there's a big world out there. You ain't got to be limited to just your 20-mile radius of your school, your job, the local bar, and then your church, and then back home, and then wake up tomorrow and just keep going in the same 20-mile radius of your hood, your neighborhood. Nah, man. I want to go to foreign lands. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Did you from the church, baby? Did you from the church? Go ahead, you preaching, baby. Go ahead. You from the church.
It's true. Listen, it's a big world out here. And let me make this clear too. I'm not in any way, it ain't about, oh yeah, I'm traveling the world, I'm balling, I'm flying on private jets, and I'm going to Dubai. And no. That's not what I'm doing. I'm like, if anything, I'm learning. The reason why I go to a lot of other places too is because it's way cheaper. You'd be surprised. A lot of these other countries ain't got the same kind of inflation that they do in the States. They capping right now in America. They going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even get a carton of eggs no more. A carton of eggs is $15. Like, what are we doing? I'd rather go to Colombia somewhere where the fruit still has seeds.
Yeah.
the proteins don't have a bunch of GMO and all these hormones, and you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot that's going on. So I like to be outside. I like to be in nature, and I like to be in healthy environments. And I like to save a dollar, man. I'm frugal now. I ain't about blowing money no more. I ain't about none of that no more. Like, you got that, dog. I'd rather go over here, man.
Right. What's this? I'm so frugal.
We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back.
You can buy your merch right now. I'm not wearing nothing more than the title. You shitting me? I don't know no mugs. I don't know no cups, no hats. This is all our brand. So I'm frugal like a motherfucker. I hope you're not frugal. So why don't you pull out your phone and scan the QR code? You get a 20% discount after you buy.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? A lot of people are gonna miss that bar. They're gonna miss that. He said you get a 20% discount after you buy.
I need to know you serious.
I get 20% off. He's like, I've never said that.
The discount kicking after.
So Ryan, let me tell you, right? Me being in the military, I've been to a bunch of different countries. And then when I came home, way more evolved, right? I started to travel profusely. Normally, I take about 5-6 trips a year. Like, I'm always somewhere, right? And I said to myself also, one of the things that's actually on my bucket list when I get to a certain level economically where I'm able to do it is I want to actually take off an entire year, right? And I want to do a year-long world tour. Like, and I want to do that. I want to live abroad for a year. Like, and I don't want to do it by myself though. That's why, I don't want to do it now. They actually have, I don't know if you heard about it. They actually have these cruise ships now that actually offer like a year-long cruise, and it's pretty affordable. I think it's like $5,000 or something like that, right? But I actually want to do it with like friends and family. Like, I want to experience life and just new cultures with people and like bring them into that space and really show them what other cultures live like. Sample new things. Yeah, man.
It's
I think it grows you up mentally and spiritually, man, to see other cultures, and it gives you a greater understanding too. Huh? Yeah, Cuzzo?
No, because this is our 150th
What
episode, man.
happened?
And the people I want to celebrate it with, man, is the people that's rocking with us and the people that we do it for, man.
Yeah.
Me and you, and I'm gonna piggyback on us, bro. Me and you show up every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30. We are a 2-man band. Yo, Ryan, we book the guests out. Let's keep it real. I hit you up on Instagram like, your brother, I would be honored. I don't have no publicists. I hit you from my own Instagram. I think I saw Sister Act was like, yo, bro, I would love to get bro. And I saw the Tank joint. I was like, yo, he's doing podcast shit. And I think I might have hit you up before. And you was like, yo, that's dope. You kind of hit me. I was like, yo, nah, me.
I had to know you were serious. I had to know you.
Real, but I'm a salesman. I'm a salesperson. And guess what? It might not be a no today, but it's not a no tomorrow. And I saw you grinding and getting on the circuit. I'm like, yo, we love to celebrate you. And look how it works. You're on 150 episode. So the people I want to do it is for the people we do it for, man. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to the kids. Shout out to everybody, because people don't know what it takes, man. We are on this computer from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. And some days we ain't getting paid. But guess what? We know the dream, because we know what you said earlier, bro. We fucking making magic, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Making magic. And that's what's going to happen. That's what fuels my soul. And in fact, I could do that with my brother.
Yeah,
brother,
absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's what it's about. And then that's, because we all have the right and we all have the privilege to define success as we see fit. You understand what I'm saying? We all have that right as just your God-given right. You can define what success is to you. You decide what success means to you. For some people, it's being on a yacht. And for some people, it's just being in a garden. You know what I mean? But it's your choice. And so, if you say success is just traveling the world with your family, or doing the podcast with your brother, this is something that you know what I mean. Being creative, whatever it is, like you have to go after the thing that makes sense for your soul, because that's really what you have at the end of the day. All the money that you're gonna make is gonna go to somebody else when you die. That ain't your money. You just holding it for a little while. You know what I mean? Your house is gonna go to somebody else. Your car gonna go to somebody else. All your accolades and all that gonna be hanging on the wall, and then we gonna take them off the wall, put it in a box to make room for other shit. You feel me? Even your picture gonna get taken off the wall after a couple of generations. They say you'll be forgotten in 2 generations. So that's not to be morbid or negative or dark. What it's saying is like, the only things that really matter are the matters of the heart, the experiences that you have, the memories you create, and the relationships that you foster. You see what I mean? And so that's what's important. And I personally got to a point, because I was a young dude running and gunning, chasing in the industry, chasing a certain definition of success. And I attained it, and it was fun, and it's cool. And I'm not knocking anybody for going for what you want to go for. But I know for me, I've reached a place in my life where I've redefined what success is. So for me, now being able to be in another country, saving a couple of dollars, they ain't worried about no designer. Like you know what I mean? I'm the tall Black American. I'm already popping. You feel what I'm saying? So, I'm handsome. I'm in shape. I look good. My teeth is pretty and white. That's all that. I'm respectful. I'm humble. I can speak a little bit of the language, and then I make friends wherever I go. I got a great personality, and now, like, that's what's successful to me. That's what's dope to me. Being in different cultures, seeing different things, being on a beach somewhere, or you know what I mean, in a small town, eating some local food. You know what I mean? And I'm able to, that's what's successful to me. And then my friends, they see how I travel, my family members who ain't never even been out of their hood, like, damn, cuz I'm living vicariously through you. They don't even know, for the same money you spend on some Jordans, some weed, and some Henny, you could buy a ticket and fly to London. They don't even know. They message to go around the world, and you really don't. Look at the cost of living in a lot of these places. You know what I mean? In Bali, it's super cheap. In South Africa, I was just in South Africa. It's like $1 to 20 of their dollars, 20 South African rand to $1. So it ain't about balling. It's about, man, just figuring out what you could do. You guys do a podcast. You could do it from anywhere in the world. I take my little studio set up with me anywhere in the world. You take your microphone and your laptop, you know, they call them digital nomads. We live in a time now where if you're smart enough, you can figure out how to run a business from online, and you could work from anywhere in the world.
That's a fact.
So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, people did that a lot in COVID. You know, they were offering a lot of dual residencies, you know, and a lot of these, dual citizenships in a lot of these countries where people were going during COVID, right, to escape the U.S. and the COVID and thing and work from abroad and stuff like that, man. You know, and I just want to say to you from one brother to another, man, I am glad that you have found inner peace, because some people in their lifetime never find that, right? In their lifetime, never find what you are showing that you have achieved, right? That inner peace.
Thank you,
where, like you said, my soul is full, right? My belly is full. I raised my children, right? That's a beautiful thing, right? And that's why you can feel fulfilled. That's why you can say, yo, I did everything, right? You at a point where you like, yo, I'm just living until it's my time, and I'm gonna experience things. But you know, when it's my time, I'm not going with a frown on my face, because I've lived. I didn't exist. I've lived, right? So I just want to say congratulations to you, man. A lot of us are still, a lot of us are striving to get to where you are, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, man. It is a fight. Yeah, it's a fight, man, but it is inspiring. And that's why we created this platform, right? Because guess what, Ryan? Even through the violence and the decline of your community and other communities, there are still individuals out there with talent just like yours that are seeking to be better, to do better, right? To do something with their lives and provide for their family. So when they hear about your story, you're going to inspire, and it doesn't matter what platform you are, you're going to reach people that you may never meet in life, that you're going to inspire them by telling them your losses as well as your successes, right? So that they can have a balance and understand that life is not just only success stories, it's wins and losses. And they're going to be inspired by your story and say, I can do better. And I know that there's better out there for me, man. So I just want to say thank you, bro, for allowing us to cultivate your story and tell your story in a manner that you are happy to have this story out there like that, man. I appreciate you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm inspired, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. And I want to do something different, bro. You already know. I told you I'm pulling up that motherfucking beat, and I'm.
You want to get an acapella or something right now?
I'm putting the beat on, bro. I'm gonna do karaoke.
You got 16? You got 16? You got 16, Kato? Okay. Oh, let me give you some. Look. Yo, how many dindus you had, yo? How many dindus you had, bro?
Well.
Oh no!
12 of them things. Not fucking with you.
Yo, I love this episode, man. Cuz what we got coming up next week, Thursday, and going on, man. What we got?
Doyle Mitchell, CEO of Industrial Bank, the sixth largest African-owned American bank in the world, and minority owner of the Washington Nationals, coming through this Thursday. He's going to tell us how to get SBA loans. He's going to tell us how to fund our dreams. He's going to tell us exactly what resources we have at our disposal, and we need to hear that. And then next week, fan appreciation. You pull up, you already know. And Ryan's gonna be our resident music guy. So we get somebody. We got Force MDs pulling up.
Oh no, we got Force MDs pulling up. Yeah,
we're gonna do Tender Love live.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Pull up, bro. That's gonna be October 8th. Yeah. And October 10th, we got Greg Oden, former #1 NBA draft pick, pulling up. And then we got Black Week from the 15th to the 18th. We will be with Shannon Sharp, Gary V, Jonathan Mendenhall, founder of Airbnb. We are going to be rocking. We're going to be creating content. It's going to be only how we do it, man. And we welcome you to the family, Ryan. So once again, I told you off camera, anybody we see, anybody you see us with, you are family. You need a connection, you need anything. And we're the type of people, we'll see a play happen before it develops. So I might just be like, yo, shoot you a text. Please put your number, bro, in the group chat. So we can just text you. But we might see a play for you. Somebody needs an endorsement deal. Somebody needs this. Somebody needs a jingle. Whatever it is, bro. We just want to make sure we connect the dots, because we need to eat and we need to win together, bro. And we love you. Appreciate you.
We don't gatekeep, Ryan. We've already, now that you're part of the More Than the Title family, like I said, this is episode 150. We've had millionaires, we've had billionaires on this show, right? Dolan is coming on. He's the second minority owner from the Washington Nationals that we will interview. It's a celebration, bitches. You see the balloon. He's the second owner. We already, really good friends with Paxton Baker, who's already a minority owner, and we go down and see him a lot and get a lot of tutelage from him. So anybody that has ever been on the show, if you see a guest that's been on the show that you want to get in contact with, and future guests that come on the show, if you see somebody in the future that you want to connect with, that's why we do the group chat. That way you get in contact with us directly, because we don't believe in like assistants and managers handling that type of thing. We believe in the human aspect, the personal one-to-one. So when you text us, you get us directly. If you want to meet somebody or link up with somebody, we'll make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, my cousin forgot to tell you, even though we doing Black Week, we are the official podcast of Black Week. Be clear, we the only podcast that's going to be out there. And with that being said, we're going to show you the video once again so that y'all understand how important Black Week really is.
The current state of inclusion in this space is bullshit.
Black Week is a place where we can start to demystify Black ownership, Black wealth building, and our place in changing the narrative of advertising.
The objective of Black Week is to create a platform for the conversation.
I'm super excited to just say what we say in the group chat, because we are the only ones in the way of what we can get to.
The reality is no one is coming to save us. We have to come together and demand it. There's a reason why unions were formed. There's a reason why people come together, so that their collective force is an undeniable voice, right?
There's this fear that we want what's theirs, and that's not the case. It's about a fair opportunity.
We want to get together and celebrate with each other, but this isn't about participation trophies. This is about action.
Black Week is an opportunity for us to come together to realize our collective strength and power in this world.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to thank you again for tuning in to another episode of More Than a Title, episode 150. This has been an absolute banger.
Classic.
And fucking instant classic. Ryan Toby once again came on, told you his story, let you know how he had navigated the music business, the movie business, entertainment business in general, and how he has self-fulfilled himself spiritually, mentally. We want to thank him for coming on the show, but he's a perfect testament of how we end on the show. Understand that everybody dreams. The dream is free, motherfuckers, but the hustle.
Ryan, can we get the intro real quick on the end off? Can we get the intro, bro? Can we get the intro? Can we get the intro? Can we get the intro? Wait. There you go. Can we get the intro one time, bro? We might not.
I got this one though.
No, nigga, that's not his song.
Hey, man, I gotta slide, man. Y'all
ain't gonna hurt nobody. Who's that?
I need a round-the-way girl.
I gotta roll, man.
Thank
you, man.
Bro. We gonna see y'all. We out here.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me, man. All right.
What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me?